There we go. We are live.
Why is there a red thing up here ticking away?
Red thing ticking away.
It says live.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's exactly what we're live, aren't we? So yeah, if you're in the chat, say hi. We'd love to have you in the chat. If you've got any questions for Tommy as well, please whack them in. So yeah, we've not really had a conversation pre-live chat or anything, so I'll just get right into it. First off, Tommy, if you want to introduce yourself, I'm sure everyone knows you anyway, but you could give a little introduction.
My name is Tommy Bernhard with an H. I heard people debating this yesterday on a live. There is an H. It's not silent. So it's Bernhard. It's German. I'm a full-time reseller. I solely 100% survive on reselling. I have no outside income from anywhere else, pension, retirement, spouse, or anything. So I know exactly how hard it is when people say it's hard. It is hard. It's not for everyone. And yeah, I'm in the United States. I'm in the biggest state in the United States called Delaware on the East Coast. So we're across the pond, directly across the pond from Adz. I think it's like a 5. I think last time I went, it was like a 6-hour flight. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun. But I love it over there. I can't wait to come back. I have family down there, and I've been twice for 2 weeks at a time, and I loved it. So, but this time I'm come on and see. I'm gonna fly and go up there with you and Zahir and stay and run a rampant up there for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Z isn't far from me, as you know. He's probably about maybe about an hour. That's it. Yeah, not far.
Met. You guys have never met.
No, never.
Crazy, like, you know, because here we'd like to meet each other, and you know, to drive an hour. I know it's different there. Driving an hour to you guys is brutal. It's not very fun. But
well, not really. It's just like it's just never happened. We just never, like, even there's people as well around here. Maybe, I mean, Andrew. That's a prime example. He's like 40 minutes away from me. Never met.
How far was he away when you were in college?
About an hour away.
Oh, so he's closer to you
now
in Wales than when you're not in Wales.
He's closer when I'm not in Wales.
Isn't that crazy? You're in his own country and he's farther away. Wow.
Yeah. Because the thing is, I'm right when I'm at Bangor. I'm like right the other side.
Okay.
So I'm literally longer there compared to here because I'm basically not far from the border of Wales here now, and Andrew's not far from the border of Wales. So it's like it's really pretty close. But yeah, I've never met.
There's not as much of that over there in such a small island. You would think everyone would be meeting all the time, right?
Yeah, it's weird, but no one. It's the weirdest thing that no one does it. Or, I mean, I think obviously I'm not really in the reselling space as much anymore, but I think they do the meetup still like once a year or so. Right. But you know, even so, you would think that they'd do it more than that because obviously we're closer together. So yeah, it is odd.
They're Leroy in the chat, Blood, Sweat, and Cell. How you doing, Leroy? He lives like 8 hours from me.
Yeah.
He drove his daughter home one time. It was like a 12-hour drive, I think. And the whole way back, he just stopped and met people all the way back to South Carolina. It was really cool.
So, yeah.
I can't wait to do that.
You do the over in America, you do the reseller rallies as well. Have you been to them or not?
No, I've never been. No, they that's Craigslist Hunter Pete. Him and John Cincinnati Picker, Lonnie and Ronnie Hart put that on this year. Tracy went to that. Tracy went and she had a great
I think I saw something on Instagram actually.
Yeah. So it's cool. Michelle Lathan, she's not far from me. But she's too busy working. I probably won't get to meet her.
Yeah. So how's the podcast going anyway? How are you doing with that?
Yeah, you know, YouTube. It's a draining grind. It's fun, but it's, you know, you're just giving your time away, really, basically, is all you're doing, and taking away from your real business. That's all it is, in a sense.
Are you kind of doing it a little bit more formal now? Is it still pretty informal? Because I know you've had a few kind of bigger guests on, haven't you, over the last few months?
Yeah, I mean, I've said I don't make any really like secrets about it. I kind of want to get out further outside of the reselling space, kind of like Steve and Steph did, you know, like, but still involve the reselling space, not because I love the reselling space, but it's very hard to mix that with outside. You know what I mean? It's like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm a prime example. I know. Yeah.
Very hard when you have your base was built on one ideology, and then you're trying to do something else and incorporate it all together, it doesn't work. People just
No, you can't do it. Honestly, you can't do it.
You come for one reason and one reason only, and if you're not providing that, they don't come. And you've seen it, firsthand. You're probably the best example there is of that. When people say they want to make content, just watch ads struggle with it. It's not.
I know. I mean, it's terrible because you think, well, right, there's all this new stuff that I've got and all this new things in my life that I want to include into my YouTube, but I know that if I do it, that's it. Like views, everything's just going to tank.
Mhm.
But I don't want to not do it because it's a fundamental part of my life.
Right.
So, so it's a real battle. And you think, so for me personally, I've just kind of had to forget about the views and just go with it.
You had amazing views. When I first met you, you had great views. Reselling side early on. So it's sad that it doesn't stay. Rewind Resell says the trouble is in the UK that you don't think you're living on a relatively small island. Yeah, that's funny because you got what is UK can fit in Texas like 5 times or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean we don't really think we're living on.
I just remember the roads and stuff. Like I don't remember them but I remember where my family was, there was never just long stretches of highway that were nice and smooth, and there was always roundabouts and bumps and water puddles, and like there was just you never really drove for long periods of time without stopping, where we can get on one road and drive 85 miles per hour for 10 hours straight. Never, no red lights, no nothing. So there's a huge difference. Hey,
I mean, what was it? Oh, Adrian. Yeah, Adrian's in, isn't he? Yeah. Mr. Diggs Deals. I've not seen him actually in ages, like in the chat or anything.
Chris Tyler's in here. He loves Krillin. Krillin's his
favorite. Yeah, Chris is in.
Cajun. Hey, Cajun. Good to see you.
I've not really done any shout outs actually, but you've been doing a few shout outs. So there we go. It's not too bad.
Hey, Bumcrack, BCP, the best in the business. How are you?
Oh, yeah. BCP's in.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a show without BCP, would it?
On your podcast, I remember, is it a few weeks ago, a few months ago, did you have some sort of sports person on, right?
Yeah, another like I knew this was calculated. I knew what was going to happen. He was UFC world champion.
There we go. I knew it was someone pretty big as well. Yeah,
he's fought in front of millions of people, and he's got a huge history, amazing life story. It was calculated. I knew it was going to do terrible. I knew it would be terrible. Like it's just something I had to do for myself because Tracy's son fights in UFC, not UFC, but in MMA. He's just starting. She wanted to talk. I really wanted to hear some of his stories firsthand. And I was like, screw the views. Who cares? I really want to just talk to this guy. It's not often you get to talk to someone who's fought in the biggest shows in the world on TV, pay-per-view, US and all over the world. So that was very fun. I mean, so much fun that I can't even explain. And people didn't even get to see backstage the type of person that he was. That 20 minutes talking to Tracy's son, just motivating him before we went live and telling him, how he gets his mind in certain places and trains and does things, and just a genuinely great person. Like, he was so much fun. And I knew that, like I said, I knew it wouldn't do well, and I didn't care less about that.
I would have thought it would have done pretty good though, because of like the stature of who he was and all the rest of it.
The problem is that UFC owns all the authority on you. So your channel has an authority, right, on a topic. So whatever you put in that title, topic, you're ranked with an authority. UFC has the authority on his name, and you can't be. It's so hard to be seen. When they have the catalog of hundreds and hundreds of videos of him, it's just not you're not gonna outrank that. It's just gonna be a time thing. I did it once before with a radio person. It was our lowest viewed show since we first. I mean, this was a year and a half into us doing it, and it was like the views were like when we just first started.
Yeah.
But now it's our biggest viewed show because it's just time, and it just keeps going and going. And to this day, it doesn't get a lot of views, but today it still gets 50 views a day, roughly, or 30 views a day. It's pretty crazy.
How are like with those people? How are you finding them?
Jens Pulver, it was literally an accident. I went through a Twitch binge, just you know how you remember that you went into it, you were looking at it, and his channel came up as a channel I might be interested in. I was like, wow, that would be cool to listen to him, because he was just breaking down fights, taking live fights, showing them, and walking you through the mistakes and the good things people did. And he's so epic at it that I just got hooked. And I sent Tracy a link, and I'm like, you might want to be interested in this because of her son. And man, we spent many nights in the beginning, just her and I, watching him while we were working, because we both worked nights, and we fell in love with him as like the person. You know, he's a great father. He's just got a great story. What he's been through to be where he's at now is just nothing short of amazing. You know, his dad put a shotgun in his mouth at 7 years old and was going to blow his. Told his mother to pick which kid to shoot.
Bloody hell!
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I just can't even imagine how that doesn't ruin you for life. You know?
Well, that's the thing. That's what I was just thinking. I know the trauma involved with all that and all the rest of it. I mean,
yeah, crazy stuff. Yeah. So how are you anyway?
I'm good. I'm just very busy. I'm just very busy as always. So I don't even know what I'm doing at the moment. You know, I'm just trying to fit things in. Obviously, I'm going back to uni in a couple of weeks. So then I've got that move back there. And yeah, it's just trying to do what I can at the moment and juggle things as best I can.
You got a troll.
I've got a troll.
Stu Mandry.
He's not a troll. Oh, I've not seen him in for a while, actually. Stu. Hi there, Stu.
Hey, Miss Taffy. Good to see you. How are you? No, Stu is probably, he should do YouTube, should he not? He's probably the funniest person.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, he should do YouTube. Yeah.
Him and BCP need to do a collab, channel together.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be so much fun. They're both so witty. It's crazy. But yeah, it's good to see you, man. We were sad when you went to uni, because we were like, oh God, he's gonna find girls and he's gonna find fun, and we're gonna lose him forever.
Well, the thing is, like, with the whole COVID experience, you know, with uni, it's been great, but it's been a lot flatter than it would be. If COVID wasn't a thing, it would be a different thing, a different ball game. Like this year, we're all in lectures. Just to give you an idea, last year for the entirety of the year, I did about 5 or 6 in-person lectures. That was it, all year. That's less than an average week of lectures, and I did that in the entire year, so it was crazy. Wow. So this year it's a whole different story. We've got all in-person lectures, as far as I'm aware, and you know, the amount of people I'll be able to meet is just incredible.
Right. Well, you found some good friends to see, though. We talked to you a couple times, and you know, you went live a few times, and you had some neighbors like in the
flats in the flat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. Was it scary at all, thinking like, oh wow? Because I know, you know, you've discussed some things, and
like anxiety and stuff.
Yeah. Like,
are
they gonna like me? Or are they gonna, are they gonna think I'm crazy? Because you know, that's what everyone loves about you, how eccentric you are. You know that. And but were you concerned at all, like how they're going to handle it versus other people?
I think there was a bit of that. I think it's hard to even explain. It was kind of more just a general fear of fitting in that maybe everyone feels. Not necessarily so specific to me, but just like everyone, that general feel. And I was going in, I was thinking, well, for one, are these going to be my kind of people? Am I going to be their kind of people, etc.? That kind of dynamic. And then suddenly it just clicked. Like, we just fit. There was a few things that went on that were out of our control and that were a bit crazy. But after that, it was cool. Everyone was great. Everyone clicked really well. And I'm living with the girls from the flat this year in September. Outside of university halls, and it just really went great. I don't think it could have gone better. I don't think I could have found a better bunch of people. So, and you can get into these things where you can find people who aren't that great, you know. So it was lucky.
And Jennifer Hayes, she lives in my big state of Delaware too. Hey, Jennifer.
Oh, Jennifer's in.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see her name. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, up there. Yeah. Hi, Jennifer. There she is.
That was scary. You know, I always thought about it for you. We were, hoping you had a great time, and it seems like you did. We were kind of selfishly hoping you had a terrible time and came back home. But
well, the thing is, I just wish I could And this is what I'm trying to do this year. I wish and I hope that I can stay on YouTube and keep going with YouTube, but it was just so imperative for me to just get into the social life and just to immerse myself in that, as well as the uni work and all the rest of it. But I think this year, now I know what I'm doing, I'll be able to stick with YouTube a little bit, and it'll be good,
Good.
It'll be good.
Yeah. You see Andrew sniffing around this year now that they're off lockdown. He'll be sniffing over.
Yeah, I need to speak to Andrew, actually. I speak to him like a bit on Instagram and stuff, but I don't speak to him out. Do you speak to like any of the other resellers anymore or not?
Well, we kind of lost touch a little bit with the UK because the time changes, like with my schedule, and I sleep during the day when you guys are on now, and it kind of sucks. But it's like it was a necessity with the baby, like last year coming, earlier this year coming, and I just couldn't get anything done on a normal day. And when that's when reselling is your only income, you got to do what you have to do. I couldn't survive that way. I would have been homeless if I kept doing the way I was doing. So it kind of that you lose touch with some people, but it'll be back. I mean, we still had Andrew on for New Year's this year, and just people that we've known from early on. But I mean, not because of any other reason other than work. I still, thoroughly enjoy pretty much everyone that I met early on over there. I still try to get up and catch you when I can. And Zahir, I talk to Zahir probably the most, I think, when he answers, because he's very poor at social media too.
Yeah, can imagine. And I mean, he's busy with the shop and everything, isn't he? So I mean,
well,
he's got a lot going
on. Now that he's got a boss, it's he's got Beck working with him. She's full time now too. She can't, he can't screw off anymore and depend on Beck to bring home the bacon. He's got to help out.
So, exactly, So it's how's Tracy anyway? Because I'm not really I've not spoke to many people. So
she's good. I mean, she I'm sure you heard she had COVID, right?
Yes, I did actually. Yeah,
had it pretty bad, and it was scary because I was frantically trying to find a co-host that, like, she it took her down, and I was more concerned about myself, of course. But no, she had it bad. She was down for what, like 18, 19 days, like out of bed, and then
it's pretty bad, isn't it?
That's the thing. Everyone gets it so different. You don't know. You just don't know. I know other people that have had it, and they just felt tired a couple days, and she got it bad. So it was crazy, but she made a full recovery, thankfully. So she's doing good.
Do you know if you've had it?
I'm not that I know of. I've never been sick. I haven't had a cold or anything since it started. So I don't think I've ever had it. If I've had it, I just don't know, and I've just passed it on to other people probably. So I've been fortunate. I don't know anyone near me that has had it. Anyone in my family, anyone around me that lives near me or anything. Thankfully. So
that's quite interesting you say that, because I'm very similar. I've only known about one friend who's had it. So I mean, everyone talks about it going round, but it's odd because I've not really experienced it immediately.
Well, that was the problem, wasn't it? No one believed it because no one knew anyone that had it. And like, then it starts hitting home when you see people that have it. You're like, okay, all right, it's real. That's it. Leroy says the same thing. He don't think he's had it. So but again, I've only had the flu once in my life, so it just, maybe I'm just have a stronger immune system towards certain things, but not others, because I feel like I'm tired all the time. But I can fight off the flu. I don't know. It's a trade-off. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I've kind of felt a bit sick over the last 18 months. Not obviously not the entire time, just here or there. And I think, well, have I got it? Haven't I got it? And you don't know. You just don't know. It's not like I've not been sick to the point of like thinking I've really got something. It's just like, oh, I might have something very, very mild, like a mild symptom. I think, well, have I got it? Haven't I got it? Etc. But it's not enough to warrant thinking about it in depth.
It might have been just homesickness.
Well, I don't know.
Mom's not running your parcels to the store for you anymore. You're all
well,
on your own.
It's a different ball game when you're at university.
She is. There's Tracy.
Oh, there you go. Hi, Tracy.
But But no, yeah, I'm sure they missed you probably. How were they when you first went?
Well, I know that my mum cried, I think, when we were splitting off like that.
Yeah.
We literally went separate ways as well. And I don't know about my dad, but my mum said my dad was pretty sad.
Right.
But I don't know. I think
I'm sure they're happy for you, but it's sad. I'm sure. I know it'll probably destroy me as well when I do that. I don't want to. You want your kids to be successful and be happy, but sending them out into the wild world is just got to be scary. Right? It's got to be. It's because it's a crazy world. You know that. Everyone knows that. It's wild.
Yeah. I mean,
Bangor. What's that mean? I mean, it's like, I mean, I don't even know. It's weird, but I don't know. Wales looks pretty calm. It's not like London or anything, right? It looks.
No, it's nice in Wales. It's really slow. So in Bangor, it is a city, but it is not a city. It is a town. Like it's a small town, and it's so much greenery, mountains, all the rest of it. Lovely kind of old stone walls everywhere you go. Look, fields, the sea, everything. It's so slow. It's so peaceful, and you just walk around. And it's just a lovely vibe. It's just genuinely like this lovely vibe. So I wouldn't want to be at university. I couldn't see myself being at a university anywhere else unless it was like that sort of vibe. I don't think I'm the type of person who could go to a university like in the city centre. I wouldn't like that. It'd be too full on.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine. There are too many distractions too. Like, my daughter wanted to go to NYU, which is in Manhattan in New York City.
Yeah.
As well, I would love for her to go there, but I think there'll be a lot of distractions too. There's too much. There's
too
many temptations. I mean, can you imagine? As mom cried when he left, she also cried when he was coming back. Stu, Peter, right? How are you? Leave it to Stu. He's always throwing one in there.
Yeah, I know, of course.
So perfect. But yeah, man. So how's the reselling going? I see you getting back into Legos. I've been monitoring you, even though I don't.
Well, yeah, I don't know what I've done of it over summer has been good. It's been interesting, and certainly with the Lego. I mean, I've always loved that. I've loved that since 2015. I was selling it in 2015 when you could clear it off your shelves for really cheap. I mean, these days you can't do that so much, but. So I love it. I've just been buying it, and I'm putting it away, investing in it, and in a year or two I'll get it out and I'll sell it and I'll make good money on it. So, and that's the plan. That's always been kind of since about sort of 2017, that's been more my plan with Lego, rather than flipping it there and then, like doing it as a more of an investment.
How full is the shed now? The shed, you were trying to empty the shed out when you left your reselling shed. So how full is it now? Because I think you had about 1,200 listings when you started liquidating at university.
Yeah, that was mental.
And then you got rid of a lot of it, right?
Yeah, so I got rid of it must be over 1,000 items,
right?
And I got rid of that through selling a fair bit of it off on eBay, reducing just slowly over a number of months. I did a car boot. I only managed to fit one car boot in before I went to uni. I did what else? Oh, Facebook Marketplace. I sold a lot on Facebook Marketplace. And I don't know what else. I think I might have done some job lot auction type things on eBay as well. And then some of the stuff that really had just been on for about 2 or 3 years and wanted going anyway, charitied that. What else did we do? I don't know, charity or somewhere else, some sort of other charity thing, way of getting rid of it. And then just managed to clear it out. But it was a hard one. It was a hard one because we had about 8 months to sort it, and there was no way. I was thinking, I'll get rid of all this on eBay, like just reducing it, all the rest of it. But there was no way that was going to happen. It just wasn't going to happen, Not 1,000 items. What's this? Can we have ads cards in, but turn them into Tommy cards? I want to see how sturdy his chair is. Well, we can't on this because I'm on StreamYard. And I want to say Stream Loots then, but it's not, is it?
Yeah, cards, actually, the cards.
Yeah, the cards are Stream Loots, aren't they?
I know it didn't go as planned. We all, like, partially our fault. We spun it into something crazy that you didn't intend, but that was ingenious when you did that, like, literally. And I know if you did it right and could get it in the right direction, there's a lot of money to be made there, man. That was phenomenal. That was very intelligent thinking there, forward thinking, because that's something that you see on Twitch and shit. You don't see it on YouTube. You don't see it in the reselling world. And to monetize yourself in a different way, that was pretty impressive. And I think that you had my head spinning when you did that. I was like, this is damn impressive, man. So congratulations on that. You made quite a bit of money on that, didn't you?
Yeah, thanks. But at the same time, for one, it was great, and I did make a lot of money, and it even, you know, I think it was a pretty good idea at the time. But the problem was it became too much of a thing where I was I was able to, let's say, invest my self-worth in the cards. People would then send the cards, and it would be more kind of that I would be doing the cards under people's will, let's say. Even if they didn't intend it that way, that's kind of how I started to feel of it playing out. So I kind of had to think, well, I've got to stop this because I can't live this way, let's say, on YouTube.
Right. You got to have at least one sliver of dignity left at the end, right?
Well, there you go. Exactly. You know, I mean, people used to say, what was that?
I said at least one tiny sliver of dignity. I mean, you can't be giving birth to quadruplets every week live on the air.
Well, there you go. Exactly. You know, and people said it. People were saying, well, you know, oh my God, you must have no dignity or whatever. I swear I saw some comments every now and then like that. And it was getting to the stage where it was just a bit too over exuberant and a bit too over, just over the top. So yeah, I mean, if I could do it again and structure it in a way that wasn't so much like that, wasn't too overbearing or too over the top, then I would do it in a heartbeat straight away, because it is a great idea, but it's just yeah.
Hey, Brett, another American coming in. How are you? Yeah, you're right. Bumcrack and Tracy said Shazab was the problem. I mean, you know, he's got a history of torturing people, his employees, everything else. And
it wasn't Shazad. It was just the cards. The cards in general were some of the things. For example, when I was putting on some of the things, I can't remember too many of them, but you know, if it was, let's say, one, like for example, like the bark like a dog card or something like that, and you put that on, and then people are constantly sending these cards your way. These cards are kind of turning you into a monkey. They're turning you into someone who is literally playing for either for money or for some sort of entertainment or whatever. But it's a certain form of entertainment that is not good for the person doing it. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, again, maybe if it was, you know, 100,000 pounds a year, maybe it'd be worth it or something, you know, but I don't know. It's kind of like people with OnlyFans now. You see what they're doing. They're doing anything for money.
Yeah.
But it's different. But yeah, it's sad that we ruined it like everything else.
It wasn't anyone ruining it. It was literally the concept itself. It was the concept itself that was flawed from the offset, and that was needed structuring in a different way.
I think if you did the questions differently and didn't leave them so open to, like, you know, a lot of the questions were open and we could use them with our imagination and make them into stupid things, you know?
Well, there was things like, I mean, I don't know. There was bad things like someone has to roast me or I have to roast them, and that can get awkward. That can get weird. You can throw whatever you want in there. It can be literally anything, no matter how over the top it is, all the rest of it. And so there can be, it can just be too much.
Have their heads examined, whoever made those cards.
I know, right? Yeah, I know, crazy.
That's the thing. On Twitch, I could see them taking up, because people on Twitch a lot of times they don't have any dignity left. That's why they do so well. They'll do anything for the dollar, or whatever. Yeah. So, but that's, you have enough self-worth where you didn't want to do that, and I get it.
Well, I mean, there was one time I didn't have. I think those cards are a representation of the fact that I've been to places in my life where I haven't had any self-worth. And so therefore now, obviously recognizing what those cards were and kind of overcoming myself in that way and thinking, well, actually, I have to allow myself this dignity and self-worth that I've not previously allowed myself. Then, that's a strong thing. That's something that's positive within myself. So yeah, that's why, and I mentioned that in a different way when I was talking about getting rid of the cards, that I need to move forward and kind of not do those things that are like this degrading or whatever. So yeah, that's, but if I could, it does frustrate me, because if I could get something like that again, if I could do those cards again, but in the correct way, it would be brilliant. It would absolutely be brilliant.
It would be. You were the first, that's for sure. So I'm sure you could do it again. Wouldn't be an issue. But what's on your shirt? Is that one of your shirts, or is that something?
It's just, yeah, it is. It's just the AR.
AR,
yeah, with a little top hat.
Oh, your hat. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always good at merch, man. You're good at designing that stuff.
No, not really. I just do any random stuff. Do you have merch at the moment?
No, I don't. I'm weird, man. I'm really weird. I can't get out of my own head sometimes. I don't know what it is. I have a hold up, like a very big hold up with selling shit to people. Like I'm just very bad at it. And I don't know why. Because everyone does it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Nothing wrong with it at all. If you want to put out merch and people buy it, by all means do it. I'm just bad at. I don't know if it's maybe I don't want to subconsciously fail at it or something, or if it's just that I don't want to do it, because again, I grew up watching and listening to a radio person. I'm sure you guys have heard of him over there. You may not have, but his name's Howard Stern. Have you ever heard of him?
I've heard the name. Yeah, I've heard the name.
He's a radio person in the U.S. and he's huge. And since I can remember, he's never done any merch or sold a single thing to his audience ever. And he kind of just had my head that way the whole time. Like, I don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. But there's times where I sit around and I say, I would like to wear something of my own. And I've actually ordered a sample once from a company to try it. And then I was not happy with the quality. And I just was like, screw this. And I just threw it away. And I'll probably do it at some point. But I need to hire someone to do this stuff because I'm not creative enough at all. Like, I have zero creativity at thumbnails, graphics, anything. Tracy does anything that we have. Tracy does it. And I do zero. Horrible at it.
You know what would be good on a t-shirt, I really think, would be that grey logo, that grey square logo that you've got. Mm-hmm. I think that'd fit a t-shirt.
Yeah. Like,
is that one?
Yeah, that's a hat.
Oh, just hold it up a bit closer to the screen. Oh, wow. That's really cool. That is really cool.
Yeah, so I had it done, and I had a hoodie done.
Yeah.
It was terrible quality. Like, it was, I tried to find a company that advertised the best quality I could get, and it was terrible. So I need to just try, because I've heard Amazon merch uses really good quality stuff, and I have a merch account and I have the logos. I could just upload them and print my own, but I don't. I don't really. It's not a priority, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just noticed as well behind you, there's like a screen, isn't there? A branded screen or something. Where'd you get that from?
What, the wall?
Is that a part of the wall, or is it?
I built that. Yeah, I built that wall. It's a wooden
wall.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, next to it, that screen, there's a screen. Like, is that part of it? Yeah, that.
No. One of my friends made that for me. He does woodworking, and he was starting a company, and he he found, I'm still to this day, I've never told anyone about YouTube. None of my family knows.
Yeah.
Friends don't know anything. One of my friends found me on accident, and he was like, he's a woodworker, and he was like, holy shit, I want to make you a sign. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So he did it. It's really cool. And he just started his company, and he does a lot of different woodworking and things like that. So, but yeah,
Nice.
he made that. And I have to send it back to get a different one because we changed the logo a little bit. So that's why that was hanging on the wall. And one night it just fell off because I'm not good at that kind of stuff. And I guess I didn't put it in well enough. So. We were actually live and it fell off.
It looks good behind you. It looks really cool.
This is like pile of stuff like that I just don't know what to do with. I have stuff everywhere. That like stove, that's a wood stove that is sitting on, and that's for sale. I'm selling that actually. It's for sale. I found it for $9 in a thrift store, and I'm selling it for $100 locally. So it's gonna be
there you go. Nice.
I didn't have anywhere else to put it, so I put it there. Yeah, I think you're right, Dave. I don't with certain things. I do with certain things with like stuff like that. I have no confidence in, like the merch side. I do not. Tesla Picker's in the house. That's a superstar over here in America. You see him?
It's who's that? Tesla Picker.
Yeah.
I've seen him ages ago. I've seen him in the chat before. You know, and maybe your chats or possibly mine. I'm not sure. But yeah, hi there. Anyway,
Krillendall. I know, right? Krillendall. But no, and it's like people like Dave, like Tesla Picker. He puts out. I bought his hoodie, and it's like perfect. Like, you know, some people are just perfect at doing that kind of stuff. They know how to do it, and I'm just terrible at it. I have more confidence in just speaking to people and talking to people than I do that kind of stuff. But I don't have confidence being on other people's shows. Like you don't ever see me on other people's shows like this because I'm sitting here like picking my fingers are going to be bleeding soon because I get nervous on other people's channel when I'm not in charge.
Yeah. I think I used to have that actually when I would go, because I'd do Thursday talks, and maybe this was a time where I was having guests on, and I'd be okay. But I go on other people's channels and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I feel odd because it's not like in my control completely, I suppose.
No.
But speaking about the merch thing, I had a terrible time of finding a company that I liked, because a lot of the print on demand companies are really bad, and I've had
quality.
Yeah, I've had bad experiences with a lot of them. And this one I'm using at the moment, which is really, really well known, what's it called? Printful. Obviously, you'll know it straight away.
Yeah.
And it's not too bad. It's not as good as, let's say, nowhere near actually as good as if you were to go to like a Chinese supplier or something yourself, like a manufacturer, and get it, or whoever. It doesn't need to be Chinese, but I'm just saying that generally. But wherever you go, if you go there directly and you have talks with them, or you have talks over the phone or whatever, they'll get it done for you, like on really high quality.
Mm-hmm. And
whenever you go print on demand, you're always suffering. But anyway, I got these mugs done up. I don't know whether they're going to come out that well on the.
Hey, Lana Josh, what's up, buddy?
Blurred and stuff.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, that's not too bad. They've not come out too bad, and I'm quite happy with the clarity of them and all the rest of it. So
who and Printful did that for you?
Yeah. And the designs come out. I did, obviously. I drew those figures myself because they're relating to my poetry. And then I got someone on Fiverr to turn them into a cartoon for me.
Oh, nice.
Then I uploaded the design. Well, I did some other work on Photoshop with them, uploaded the design, got them through, and I was nervous because I was thinking these aren't going to come out very sharp in quality or anything. They're going to be all blurred on the mug and everything. And they're not. They're pretty sharp. They're pretty good. I couldn't ask for much better. And I thought, well, yeah, we'll go for it. So, I was, I wasn't too happy with that. But I've had bad experiences like yourself with merch companies, and
a lot of people do it and they have great luck. Like they found someone personally that is in, like, I think Shazad owns the company somewhere over in where was that, Dave, where you found that guy? Where's Shazad from? Pakistan, right? Yeah, I think Pakistan. I think that's where Dave's guy's from. I'm pretty sure he ordered from Shazad. His quality's second to none. It's like it's like a small step below the quality of like a Ralph Lauren hoodie or something. Like it's pretty cool, because I have a Ralph Lauren hoodie that's very similar to it, and comparing them, it's not much difference at all. You can see. So that's really cool that he found someone good like that you can count on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's good. You see a lot of Josh in here, man. You're bringing all the stars out. Look at you.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Yeah, I've not seen him in the chat for ages. So hi there, Josh.
Well, he's back now. He's putting out videos. He's back to full-time reselling. It's cool to see him back. It's really cool.
Nice. Did he have a break for a time or something then? Because I remember there was something, wasn't there?
Well, yeah, if you were around to watch him on our channel, he talked about it a bit. We got into it a little bit.
I don't think I'd know. I wouldn't have watched that.
He had to buy a house and a lot of things in life, and
yeah,
went back to work, and he said, "F this, I'm out. I'm not working's not it." And he went back
yeah,
to
yeah.
Man, it's not easy. I don't. People make it look easy. It's not easy at all. And it was nice to talk to Josh and John Cincinnati Picker lately about that. How hard it really is. It's not easy to survive on just reselling in the world with all your bills.
No, like the amount of hours you have to put in work-wise, it's ridiculous. Like it is ridiculous, and people don't understand because most of the time you just end up working way more hours than a normal job anyway, and you're not necessarily making more than a normal job or anything like that. It's just the way it sits, you know, and it's just the way that things happen.
For me, it's just a struggle with time, like time management. I struggle where I should only work 8 hours a day, but it takes me 16 to do that 8 hours because I get sidetracked. I get into, family stuff, kids or whatever, just anything in the world that can come up, it doesn't matter. That's my biggest struggle where I envy the people that can block it down. Like, Cincinnati Pickery talked about, he gets up 7:30. He's done by 4 o'clock every day, no matter what. I mean, I just wish I could do that. That would be the dream. That would be that's what this is supposed to all be about. And I haven't figured that out yet. I'm not regimented. I never worked for myself until the last 3 years. And it's probably going to take me another 3 just to figure that out, at least, I think, to be honest.
So when you get, like, for example, in your day, do you basically you're working from when you wake up to when you go to bed, but you're kind of having breaks in between, like you're getting sidetracked in between, or is that around how it works?
The way my day works is I generally wake up around now, like when we came on live, 2 or 3, just depending, sometimes a little bit earlier, just depends on when I go to bed the night before. But I try to get, because my sleep is broken, because when I go to bed, then they get up a couple hours later, the kids wake me up, and I get up for a few minutes and say hi to them, and then I go back to sleep, and then somebody, Amazon will come and ring the doorbell, or just throughout my sleep is never straight through. So I think that's what makes me so miserable most of the time. And then I get up and I ship straight away. I get coffee, I come downstairs, I say hi, ship straight away. And then after shipping, I either come home and spend time with them until they go to bed around 8:30 at night. And then that's when I come back downstairs and do whatever I do for the rest of the night. Or when I go to the post office, I go out the other side of the post office and go to the thrift stores or whatever.
Yeah.
And just depending on the day. But I don't usually source more than once a week or once every 2 weeks because I just don't need to. But sometimes I just need that mental break just to go out and do it, just to get out.
Yeah.
So that's how my day is. It's just, and then when nighttime, when I come downstairs at 8:30, then you have YouTube, and then you're commenting in chats, and then I just get stuck in my own way. I'm in my own way all the time. That's what it is.
Are you doing sort of 2 lives a week on YouTube now? Is it more?
2, just 2. Yeah,
2 a week.
Yeah, we were gonna do 3, and now it's just not, man, the time, because the day is shot at that point. So
I know
it's time to go live. I generally have got nothing accomplished other than shipping for the day, and then I always say I'm gonna list afterwards, and maybe 1% of the time I do ever.
Yeah.
It's crazy how just talking for a couple hours can exhaust you the same as working. It's weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, you were doing them for, what was it, a good few times a week? Was it even maybe every day at one point?
When we first started, we were like every day for a month or 2 months or something. But it was cool because it built a nice foundation. We took my channel from 0 to monetized in less than 3 months. I mean,
there was a lot of buzz around your channel early on, and even that seems to have continued as well.
Yeah, but you can only go so far with lives. You can't. The reach is not there with lives. It's just not. You're never going to get. I mean, it's a fact. Everyone knows it. There's no. You think about. I mean, there's not many channels that do it the way we do it, and they're smart not to do it because I don't do any pre-recorded.
Yeah.
So that's the only way you're going to reach anyone. Lives, just you're not going to get there. So.
Yeah, I mean that's so we've discussed this before, haven't we? I mean, it's always the way where you do. I've done videos before pre-recorded, and they can easily do 1,000 views or more, and that's that. But try and get a live on that is very hard, very hard. You have to have really good guests, so you have to have something unique about it. For example, when we did that show, when was that? That Thursday Talk special or 6-hour stream special? When I had loads of guests on, I can't even remember when that was.
Yeah, I remember. It was 2 years ago at least.
Yeah, I don't know what it was for. I can't remember, but you know that one did about 3,000 views or something ridiculous, and that was literally in a day. In a day or two, it had done that. That's unheard of for a live in terms of obviously compared to a pre-recorded video, especially on my channel.
Right.
So yeah, you know, you don't really generally get those things on lives.
Well, I mean, there's nothing to really offer on a live for us, especially because we just bullshit. We don't do anything that provides any real value unless we have a guest on that provides the value. We just banter and make fun of ourselves and everyone else and life in general. And so I get it. I totally get why it's so hard. But I kind of want it to be that way. It's by design. I don't want to be a teacher because it's not me. You know, it's hard to explain, but I just don't feel like I'm that person. I don't like when people talk as a teacher anyway, you know, when they tell you how to do things. It's just weird. It's just, I don't know. I get stuck in my own head too. So
well, that's funny because I had a lot of trouble at the start of university, like kind of getting into mentality of being taught by someone. Because you know how you're saying about when you're on other live streams, you're a little bit nervous, whereas like when you're on your own live stream, you're there. Right. It's like when I'm doing my own learning, for example, when I'm reading or whatever it may be, I feel like I'm in ownership of that. Whereas when I'm being taught by someone, I feel as if it's more dogmatically directed at me, like you will do this.
Right. Yeah.
And I've got over that a lot now over the year of university, of course, and just being naturally doing the lectures and being in that environment. But I still prefer that kind of me reading and just doing it that way. I've always liked that. And that's because I'm a kind of person, I think most of us who are self-employed are, who like that kind of feeling of it being ours and having just that kind of natural mode of being, really.
Yeah, 100%. And it's frustrating too, because there's that double-edged sword where I don't want to do it, but then I tell someone else, like, you go ahead and make that video, and then they make it, and I'm kind of envious that they made that video, you know. It's just, I mean, but I chose that path, and I can't be, you know, you can't be upset about it. And it'll always be that way. I enjoy. I would rather see someone else make the video and just have fun with it, that enjoys doing that, than forcing myself to do something I really don't want to do just for acknowledgement, you know, because that's really what it would be. It wouldn't be because I want to do it. It would be for acknowledgement, and that's all it would be for. And that's just not the way to go. So,
yeah,
you know, it's that couch session. We need a couch session.
A couch session? You mean therapy?
I need therapy. I think a lot of people in reselling need therapy, man. It's a different type of world. We talk about this often, where I think we're a special breed of people to do what we do and walk away from stability and guarantees and things like that. You know, like we could all easily have a job and guaranteed income and stable income and, you know, no worries in the world.
I think there's a lot of drive in people who are self-employed. Just generally, I think people who are self-employed have this, wherever it's from. I don't know whether it's innate, whether it's through circumstance or whatever. I don't know whether there's a negative aspect to it, a positive aspect. Probably there's both. but there's this desire to do things, to have things done in our own way, in the way that people want, them themselves want them to be done. There's this kind of want of efficiency and making something good as well. That can be quite present a lot of the time. There's all these sorts of things, and it's kind of this directedness that some other people don't have. And it comes in varying degrees as well. It's very graduated. Like certain people have a lot of it, and then other people have little of it, but there's all these different things in between. So it's I think that kind of the self-employed mentality, people who are self-employed just fit into that.
Yeah. And I think there's different degrees as well, because talking to all the people that we talk to, and a lot of them in the chat now and other places, they all have different drive levels, and you can see it, and you can sense it, and I sympathize with that, because I have drive but only enough not to work for someone else. I don't have the drive that is needed to, with like eBay, you can, once you get eBay rolling and get the ball rolling, it's just, you can just keep building and building and building and get that ball bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But once it gets to a point where it's enough, I let off the gas all the time, versus keeping it down on the gas and being like just keep building it and building it and building it. I find a way to always just drop back, and then I need that pressure to build it back up again. If it makes any sense. Like I have to work under pressure versus like being prepared or forward thinking, or making listings ahead of time. Anything, you name it, just anything. I have to be under pressure at all times to be at my best performance in anything that I do, really.
Yeah, I'm like that. I have, whenever it's a weirdest thing, whenever I have a lot on, something within me comes up and meets that task. Even if it's a hard task, something within me will come through and try and meet it. And it can be challenging, it can be a hard thing, it can be something that I have to grapple with and wrestle with for a while, but nonetheless that comes through. And I think a lot of people in the chat as well will kind of understand me when I say that, when they have hard challenges in their life and things like that, and when they have kind of busy times as well, just generally busy times, because that within you, that spirit, that drive comes through, and you realize what you can do in those times as well. You realize that you can do a lot more than you thought you could. And that's been particularly true, like I would say the last 18 months for me. Like the last 18 months have been mental. That's the only way to describe it. It's the only way to describe it.
Yeah, and like I said, I kind of read people, and you can tell by what they say in the chats, kind of how their personalities are. And I'm sure I read some of them wrong, but for the most part, you get a sense of how they are, based on what they say and what they've been doing. And some people are great at just, grinding all the time. And I wish I had that. I really do. I really wish I had that. Hey, Bobby, the cab guy, and Peter Ray. I didn't see Peter earlier. Sorry.
Is this sort of waves then with you, where it comes and goes, or what's the kind of, what does it look like over, let's say, for example, let's say a couple of months, over the days, weeks? Is it coming, going?
I'd say out of 2 weeks, like a 2-week period, I probably put in 100%, maybe 3 days out of those 2 weeks, if that.
Okay.
Maybe 2. And then the rest are just enough to get by. Like, just enough. Like, I know what it takes just to make it get by. And then if I see it dip, then I'll jump on it hard one day, take a couple days off, jump on it hard, and instead of just doing more than I average a day, I put myself behind that, behind that pressure. And it's not good. I would never do it that way if I didn't have to. But it's just a mental thing. I can't make myself get in front of it. It's a struggle I've always had. I've always had a struggle like that.
Have you ever had it where, let's say, for 2 or 3 months, you've had a real spurt of motivation for that amount of time, then you've gone off it for literally a few weeks or a few months?
Well, yeah, I'm sure I don't know if you remember or not, but I had my account shut down for a year, so I couldn't do anything. That was a struggle. When I got it back this February, I did a lot to get it rolling, to get it moving again. It got a new fire in me for a while. I
Yeah.
did a lot of organization stuff, a lot of inventory stuff that I've never completed that I'm still working on daily. Uh, that was probably the most. And then now I'm about more than halfway where I want to be with like my sales and everything.
Yeah.
I always set my goals extremely high. So because if I set them low, and I reach them, then what am I going to do? So I always set my goals higher than I think I'll ever make. Like it's kind of probably a bad idea, but I always like to say, all right, here's what I'm working for. And I keep raising that bar all the time, so I never reach it. And then it gets to
Yeah.
where I probably defeat myself trying to get to it. And then I shut down and like, all right, I need a break. And then I'll just get back at it. But I'm more than halfway to where I want to be right now. And I need to get on it hard, and I could get there in the next month, I hope. But knowing me, I'll probably just glide through and not do it. So I don't know. I need some accountability somewhere. Like lately, I've been trying to show numbers and stuff to hold myself accountable. And so when I talk about things, I'll pull up my account and pull up my numbers, and that'll make me keep working because that's just an accountability showing people. You know, if I talk about something and then show someone and I'm making like $2 a day, then what good is it, right? I can't show it. So I've started doing that lately because I know I need to make myself accountable. I
Yeah,
don't
for
do it a
sure.
lot,
Yeah.
but it does help.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it means that it can motivate you and stuff like that. I mean, I went through periods on Instagram of showing goals and showing
Right.
targets and all these kind of things, and then it motivates you, and you then think, well, I'll do well, I'll get my head down, all the rest of it, and then obviously show at the end of the month or the end of the week or whatever it may be, whatever it is you've done, and it does motivate, when you do that. So it's definitely something that can be utilized.
Does. Hey, Bama Picking, how are you? It does. It does. It really does help, and I want to try and continue to do that when we get on topics that are, not just for no reason, but there has to be a topic. Lately, the thing around is people, the summer slowdown and all that people go on about,
Oh yeah.
and I've never really thought that was an issue or a thing. It's never really pertained to me. I think it's always us. We slow down. If eBay slows down, it's me 100% of the time. There's always a random glitch or hiccup in their system that I see and other people see, but if eBay slows, it's me. It's not them. I mean, there's millions and millions of people searching for shit every day on eBay. They're gonna buy at some point.
Yeah.
And but so it's been nice lately talking about a little bit of that with promoted listings. The promoted listings are hot right now, just so hot, and a lot of people don't believe in them and don't want to believe in them because they feel like they're giving eBay more money. But sadly, it's the future. I mean, you look at if anyone who does research into companies, when they do their quarterly earnings calls and all they talk about is promoted listings, that's where a vast majority of their money's coming from. That's
Yeah.
all. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. They give us all they give us all the information we need to know what makes them tick. And I'm telling you, people are starting to finally catch on and do it. And you can just see it in your traffic when you use what they want you to use. You're getting millions of views, millions and millions of views.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, but Bob, it was JT and the cab guy, and JT is one of them. I used to listen to him for a while, and he was so hard on like, I'm not giving them more than 3% or 4% or back and forth and back and forth. I'm sitting here thinking like that's a mistake. And I didn't really know him, so I never said anything. And then I guess he heard me say it one day somewhere, and he tried it. And now he's like, wow, all right, I see it now. I mean, when you have 4,000 listings and you're only getting 5, 6, 7 sales a day, there's something going on. There's something wrong somewhere. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you really got to start looking. It's you look at where you rank, and it's scary without promoted. They bury you so deep. What are you printing?
No, I keep pressing it with my foot.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to turn it off, but it keeps going on.
Yeah. We got all kinds of Americans coming over here to see you. Look at this.
I know we've got loads of different people in tonight, actually, loads of different names.
What time is it over there? 7? 7, right?
Here,
Yeah.
8.
Oh,
Yeah.
8. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's 3 here. Yeah, 8. That's right. 5 hours.
5 hours, yeah.
The time change messes me up because there is a point where we go to the 4 hours when we do the thing. So you got to drive eyeballs. There you go, Cameron. What's up? Yeah, it's a good thing, man. And I know it's different. It's hard to talk about eBay like with Australia and UK and Canada because it's so different than it is in the US. Just in sheer numbers, buyers, everything. It's so massive here. But there's also massively more sellers as well. That's the thing. But watching you guys go in your charity shops, they're depressing. They're depressing, man. Like I get depressed. I can't watch charity shop hauls like when people actually walk.
Videos. Yeah. I mean, it is. But the ones in Bangor, this is the thing. I was so excited to go to Bangor because, like, yes, there's 13, 14 charity shops there. It's going to be brilliant. And so I go there and I go around the charity shops once, and I'm like, whoa, what was this? I literally got one item or something.
Right.
Then the next time I go round, I think I got nothing or something, like maybe one item again. And then there was one time I got 4 or 5. Actually, there was one time I got about 7 items or so. So that wasn't too bad. But yeah, they were a lot poorer than I thought. They really were.
It's weird because ours are so massive and just we have so much waste and gluttony here in America. It's crazy. But I mean, you don't always find great stuff here either. But there's just so much more to look through. So much.
Yeah, look through. Yeah, of course.
But you guys have so much history, though, man. There's you can find some gems too. It's you're big into the antiques and the older stuff, which is always fun to watch.
Well, I was a long time ago. I mean, less so now. I pick up the odd bit and stuff, but I like the new and sealed stuff. I just like picking up anything new and sealed. It's so easy.
Right.
So easy.
Yeah, so easy to list. That's true. But is that what you want to go to? You think you want to go your model more towards all new and sealed or stuff?
Well, I kind of have to with university because it's just anything that is streamlined and efficient time-wise, because something that's new and sealed, I don't have to check, I don't have to clean, I don't have to test. So I can just whack that, get a photo, whack it on, and I'm done. And it sells quick normally if it's a new and sealed toy or game or whatever. And I'm sorted. So yeah, I will gravitate towards new and sealed a lot more these days.
TK's calling the Americans fat. We're always growing out of our clothes. It's true though. It's true. We do go through some clothes. It's like, we go through some clothes. We have so many clothes just thrown away and sent to third world countries and whatever else. I don't know here. It's ridiculous. Endless clothing. And it's fun to watch now, like you guys over there, like David M. He's buying like vintage clothing stuff, and Andrew does it. And that's stuff that when we first found you guys, I never saw. It was more just charity shop stuff. And now there's starting to be a whole change over there. It seems like totally different. Then you have Nick and Andrea making that app for you guys that marks all the boot sales and jumble trails and charity shops.
We're doing an app.
You haven't heard that? Yeah, Nick.
No, I'm not really in the scene, so I don't know it.
It's pretty intense. Like they put a lot into it, man. So like you'll be able to like have an app on your phone to show you what all is going on, and if I might be explaining it wrong, but he's told us a couple times in our chat what he's doing with it, and it's really, really impressive. We had something similar to that got shut down here. So there might be someone here that can explain it better, but yeah, that'll be really cool for you guys. Or if you can just pull it up and see all what's the jumble trails or whatever, food sales around you, or charity shops in your area, that would be pretty neat, I think. But then again, I don't know. You probably know them all. Maybe, I don't know.
No, well, not at the moment. Maybe I used to. I mean, car boots and stuff around here, I used to be aware of quite a lot of them, but I don't know the moment which ones are still going, all the rest of it, because I've been out of the loop. So, especially obviously being at Bangor anyway, just away. But yeah, around here, I'm not so certain.
What's your favorite? Car boots over everything? If you could only go to one thing.
Oh yeah, if I could only go to one thing ever again, it would have to be car boots. I love car boots. That's the best. Right. I would say.
Which, for anyone that doesn't know, is like flea markets in America. They have fields and areas set up and all these people. It's kind of crazy because everything's such a smaller scale there that they bring cars and they sell the stuff literally out of their trunk, which is the boot, and they bring tables, set up tables or blankets, or sell it right out of the trunk, right? Either way, like
Yeah.
it's impressive, and so it's kind of cool too to watch. I love watching the videos when people put them out. Like, some people are, Nick and Andrea, George Ross, they're Z whenever he does something worthwhile. You've done them yourself, but yeah, they're fun to watch.
He's still doing videos, isn't he?
Randomly, yeah.
Randomly.
I understand Zahir. He's much like myself, where he gets in a rhythm and then it becomes work and he stops.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's so fun to listen to, though. I don't know if you guys are the same over there. For us, just his wit and banter and the way him and Beck interact are just the funnest people in the world to listen to. Do you think?
Yeah.
Does it feel that way to you guys being there as well?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, I've
Although-
not watched him for ages, but I can still testify to that. Of course, yeah. It's brilliant when I used to watch him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's very good. He's got a natural talent, and he could do anything with it. I think. I wish he would. He could even do damn audiobooks or something. And just
he could actually. I see that. Yeah.
Speaking of the world's worst reseller, there's Shazad right there.
Yeah, Shazad's in.
But yeah, but it's fun because you can still learn things from people even over the like Shazad, and I've learned a lot from Shazad about eBay and how they work. He's got so much knowledge, man. Like,
tell me, hump the chair.
My chair broke. We tried to hump it earlier. It broke. But yeah, it's fun listening to him because he gets to talk with the engineers inside of eBay, and I love that stuff. That's what I thrive for, is how eBay works, really.
Yeah. Is Andrew still doing videos?
He does, like, I've seen him do haul videos on like clothing and stuff recently, but he doesn't do the rest are lives. Like, he orders like vintage clothing for Depop and eBay and does those, and then he does lives.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I need to check out some of these channels actually again, see what's what in the community, see who's still going, who's left, all the rest of it.
I think they're pretty much all there, it seems. I don't get to watch everything, but I see, the same people that I've always watched. Peter Ray still there, Kirsten, Nick and Andrea, George Ross, Zahir. I know I'm forgetting people. I'm sorry, but
wow, there's too many, isn't there?
They're just everyone that I know that I always watch is still there, and I don't always get to watch them live or right away, but I try to catch a lot of the replays when I wake up.
Yeah,
it's fun because it's just a different angle about everything, and it kind of all correlates. I mean, same thing, and a lot of people move too. So stuff that you guys can find its way over here with military people moving and vice versa. So
yeah,
it's very interesting, especially between you guys and Australia. It's really fun.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, we may as well wrap up now. We've been just over an hour.
Yeah, we really didn't even talk about anything.
Oh, we did. We managed to have a good discussion.
We just yapped. We didn't do it. It feels like one of my shows.
Well, doesn't matter, does it?
No.
There was probably something of value in there at some point.
What was the value, I wonder?
Something about motivation or about doing things. I don't know. There's probably something.
Do you have a guest next week?
I don't know at the moment. I'm not certain currently. If anyone's got any suggestions, this is what I was going to ask actually. If anyone in the chat has got any suggestions for guests, then I could potentially contact people and we could work that out for in a few weeks' time. So yeah, if you got any guest suggestions, whack them in now.
I'm correct.
Oh, he won't come on, will he?
No. How's crypto?
Well, I mentioned that last week, I think. I mean,
still doing Steam?
Still doing Steam, yeah.
Are you still $10,000 down, or have you got any back, or?
Grand's down.
Aren't you like $10,000 down in the hole or something?
No, I'm doing well. No, I did really well in April, and I took some out. Yeah. And I got my initial investment back, and I'm well up. Really? I'm well up now, yeah. So it's just ticking along. I make a certain income from it every day, a passive income, about $8 a day. That's just on Steam. And I just, take that out after 15 days or so, maybe a bit more, and then either put that into a share account or use that for whatever, paying bills or whatever it may be. And yeah, that's that.
Who else do you have anything else other than Steam?
Yeah, I have a few other cryptocurrencies. I don't want to go into too much because I might do like a different video on it, like a actual, what's the word? Not a delegated. I don't know. We'll go with it though. A specific delegated video towards crypto. Dedicated. That's the word. Dedicated.
Deal. Well, yeah, I mine. That's why my computer's so loud right now. I mine Ethereum and then and take that and buy other stuff. I mine that and buy Tesla Picker. Put me on to Cardano. Is that what it's called? I think it's called Cardano, right? Am I probably pronouncing it wrong? I don't know.
No, that's right. Yeah.
ADA is what it is.
Yeah, ADA. Yeah.
So that's done well, and then Ethereum's done well. I split it, like I mine and then split half, put half in like Cardano, and then leave half in Ethereum. And man, it's done well. It's all for free. I don't have to do anything. Like it's just it just all runs off electric. Those bankers won't want XRP all the way. Those bankers want to miss out. Yeah, I know, right? But you think that crypto is going to be the future?
Me?
Yeah.
I think that it is, but it's too hard to see how it's going to play out. Like how, I mean, I don't really think about that so much because my brain, all my mental energy is focused on psychology at the moment. But how it's going to play out is interesting for me. I don't know exactly where it's going to go. Whether it seems like there is going to be this kind of currency element to it, but I think also there's going to be kind of an ecosystem, shall we say, of all these different things that crypto does, like it is now, but on a 2.0 level, where it's way faster, way better. All of the crap cryptocurrencies are going to go, and we're going to have this kind of sphere of different things that are going on, like for example in the social media space, like we have Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and all that. We'll have all these different things with their slight unique takes on things, and they'll be really good things. And we'll still have crypto games, but they'll be way more advanced. We'll still have, just general like social media cryptos and things like that. We'll still have, of course, things like Bitcoin, but it's going to be like upgraded. It's going to be to a different level, and it's going to be way more adopted and all the rest of it. But other than that, I can't really see like ins and outs and intricacies of it and how things are really going to fully play out.
It all depends on the government, right? Because right now it's like the Wild Wild West out there. There's no regulation. So once it becomes so powerful, this is my thought, my theory. This is what I always wonder, because the government's not going to allow anything to happen they don't want to happen. They're going to take control at some point of everything. Once it gets to a certain point, too big, too powerful, where they're risking, losing power, or if it overtakes the real world currency, whatever it may be, don't you think at some point the government's going to do what they did to, like in the United States, they do with like marijuana or whatever? They say, all right, screw it. We can't stop it. We're going to go all in and we're going to regulate it.
Yeah.
You're going to pay taxes through the nose, and you're going to blah, blah, blah. So that's what I always wonder. At what point does the government step in? Because they can ban anything they want, make it illegal. I mean, we've seen it numerous times with prohibition and, drugs and whatever over the years. So that's the scary part. We don't know what they're going to do with it.
Well, I mean, the only thing we can say is what's happened currently in the UK, which you won't be familiar with regards to crypto, and that is that it is taxed, and that airdrops are taxed, and that all of these different things, staking income and disposals of assets and transfers between assets in terms. Well, let's say if you buy one cryptocurrency for another, exchanges like that, all that's taxed. They expect you to track it. I use Coin Tracker.
Okay.
And that's how it is,
Yeah, and I haven't sold any to know if they do any taxing here. They might even do that. I don't know. Dave probably can answer if he's still here. But that's if they're already taxing there, that means they're kind of accepting it already, right? They're kind of accepting that it's a powerful entity.
That's the thing. And I think there might be, probably already has been, in fact, actually, some level of suppression of it. But I don't think it is one of those things. Like, I don't think you're gonna stop it. I don't think you're gonna stop. I think it's too powerful to stop. I mean, what did it get up to? I don't know what it currently is now, but it did get up to over 2 trillion in market cap. You know, that's not something you stop, you know.
No. Yeah. So they're probably trying to figure out ways to make the most off of it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've even heard they're trying to do away with like diesel cars in the UK.
I don't know. I haven't a clue. I've not heard.
That's crazy to me because they're so much better on gas, but the efficiency, they claim they want all this green, but you know, when you're getting like double the gas mileage, you would think that would offset the regular gasoline, the regular petrol. And so that blows my mind if that's what's really happening there. At least that's what we're told over here, you know, but it's all propaganda. We don't really know what's going on over there.
I don't know. I'm over here, and half the time I don't know what's going on over here. So
that might be a good thing. To say, but it's I have one question before we go. I need you to tell me everyone, our government and everyone here, they talk about how bad socialized healthcare is. We should never have it. We don't want it, blah, 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 you know. And I know the reason over here, but what is your thoughts on socialized healthcare, the NHS and stuff like that?
That's a good question. All I can say is that I personally quite like it. Right. I think it's quite a good thing, you know. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't get into my political views because it's not that I'm one way or another politically. It's that, let's say, there's some bits over here that I like and I take from that, and there's some bits over here that I like and I take from that. That's always my kind of philosophy. I think there's different things that can be gained from different attitudes. And certainly the NHS and things like that is something that's a positive of, like, let's say, being left wing or anything like that, you know, of the left wing. And I think that's something particularly that should stay. And I think a lot of people agree with that. I think there's those who don't agree, but a lot of people agree. And I think that it's one of those things that's kind of like almost a cornerstone, in a sense, of society and of actually, you know, a society that runs and that functions. Because then I think if you, let's say, you privatize something like that, there's going to be this huge disconnect, this huge like cavern that opens up.
That's called America. we have reactive healthcare, and that's the sad part. We have such poor health because we don't have any preventative healthcare. You know, the NHS, it's in its best interest to have everyone healthy in the UK, right? Because if everyone's sick and on pills and medication like they are here, that's money out of their pocket that they're paying, and so it seems like, and this is from the outside looking in, and that's why I like to ask this, because we have this over here. They try and teach us that the socialized healthcare is horrible, and I always think that it's quite the opposite, because they have an interest in keeping people healthy, preventative healthcare, screenings and things like that. Because if not, just like COVID, when COVID hit, this is the most fascinating thing I remember out of COVID the whole time. When Andrew was showing Boris on TV, one of the first public things, I was tuned in and watching it. One of the first lines out of Boris's mouth is, "We have to protect the NHS." That right there tells you how sacred that is, and the money and the vulnerability, that if they don't jump on and get a held grip on this COVID, it could ruin the healthcare economic side of the government. Which to me is much better, because if they have a leg in the fight, if they're invested in the fight, that's going to be better healthcare for us, right? Versus us all being privatized, where we have big pharmaceuticals shoving pills and medication down people's throat and wanting to just medicate people and keep them on pills for life, versus getting them healthy and off of medication. You know what I mean? So that's how our healthcare system.
Yeah, I think fundamentally for me, there is a big problem with money in healthcare. Right. Like, if there's money in healthcare, like, for example, with treating anxiety and things, like, speaking within my own sort of field of psychology, treating anxiety and depression with all of these different drugs. If that's kind of like just a a thing that keeps going, rather than just trying to actually solve the root cause of these things and actually trying to help people and get them out of that. And the reason that's going to be the case always is that people can make money off it and just keep it going. And that for me, not only is, the moral questionability of it obvious, but it's just not a good thing. It's just not a good thing generally. Physically for people, socially, mentally, all the rest of it. What my view always is with pharmaceutical drugs and treating, let's say, a neurosis, anxiety or depression or anything like that, anything psychopathological, is that you if you have to use drugs, you use them while someone's in psychotherapy. And while they're in psychotherapy, you have them on the drugs, and that keeps them fairly okay, fairly stable, etc. Then you kind of wean them off the drugs. Let's say, any time period. It might be a year, it might be more than a year, it might be less than a year, etc. But you wean them off them, and then they get back to a normal, healthy existence. And that is proven in the psychological literature to be the best route. So pharmaceutical drugs paired with psychotherapy, and in terms of temporary pharmaceutical drugs paired with a psychotherapy over a period of time, that's the best response. And the two together work pretty well. Now, if you just do the pharmaceutical drugs, as soon as the person comes off them, they're probably going to be bad again. If you just do the psychotherapy, then that can work okay, and it can have lasting results, because there's something called the sleeper effect, which is where after therapy has been done with, then after the therapy, the person can still actually progress mentally and psychologically in their health, because they remember the techniques that they got from therapy, that they were taught in therapy. And that means that, of course, they can utilize that in their own life, even without the therapist being there. So you can do that, and you can just do psychotherapy. But really, I think one of the best results, and as I say, this is reflected in the literature as well, that it's the two together can be pretty damn effective. Now, sometimes you don't need the drugs. And if you don't need the drugs, brilliant, don't have them. Just do the therapy. But, either way.
Right. But what about now, how far are you guys? This is another thing that I think is mythical and made up and not real, about making appointments. And you're like, take 6 months, a year, 2 years to see a doctor for anything that you want to do. Like, how bad is that? Like, if you need to go to the doctor, you make an appointment. How long does it take to see a doctor?
The only thing with doing a doctor's appointment is that it's pretty crammed. Like, you can ring up and you could get an appointment that day. If you ring up like 8 a.m. in the morning, etc., you ring up, you get an appointment. That you could get an appointment that day. But the problem is, when you ring up, the line's bloody full. So you could be ringing for a few days or even more. It depends. I suppose it depends on your area and all the rest of it. But you could be ringing for a few days or more without getting an appointment. But normally it's like you can get an appointment. It's not that bad that you couldn't get an appointment.
Right. And I'm sure there's different areas and stuff that can be different if you're not. I mean, I'm just saying, but as a whole, that whole myth of, because you have this free healthcare system, quote unquote, you don't have to wait 6 months just to go for a normal checkup, or like a year for a checkup or anything. It doesn't take that long to get an appointment in general.
Yeah.
That's good. See, I figured that. I knew it was all lies. It's all propaganda. They're trying to take us down over here. All right, now we can end.
Well, I mean, the problem is, it's the whole drugs thing. Obviously, I'm more as interested in psychology on the kind of psychoanalytic end, which is the, imagine the classic Freudian idea. It's not that, but imagine that, because that's what everyone imagines. The whole, psychologist and then client, and you work out your problems, etc., that sort of thing. So I'm always on that end. So I always kind of, when people talk about the drugs and all the rest of it, I'm always a bit like, well, I'm hesitant. I will say that, it will be a good idea while, let's say, there is a course of psychotherapy going on. But, if you can, the best situation really is if you can and you don't need the drugs, just do the psychotherapy. But a lot of people do need the support of the drugs for a little while. Now, the problem is,
his dad's got kids, he's got to eat.
The main problem is, is actually helping people get off the drugs,
right?
Because they don't feel, because I've been through this is something I've been through, they don't feel comfortable. Let's say it's an anti-anxiety medication. They don't feel comfortable coming off the drugs. So if you put them on the drugs, they might not feel comfortable coming off them. So you got to really weigh that up as well. So it might be better just to have psychotherapy without the drugs, because if you get them on the drugs, it might be a road, it might be a challenge for them to end up coming off them.
Good point.
So it's, it's that. Anyway, we may as well end now. Chris says, I want Dr. Robinson as my GP. I'm not good enough to be any sort of GP or anyone's professional psychologist. I'm not.
I had to get Adz on a rant. I had to get Adz on a rant. He loves it. But yeah. All right, man. Yeah, I got to get to shipping. I got an hour and a half. I got to get out the door. So
what I was going to say as well is if you've got a free spot on the podcast at one time over the next few weeks.
We always got a spot for you. We'll kick off. I think we have Joe Biden's coming on. We could boot Biden off for you. He's too tired anyway. But yeah, we definitely always have a spot for you anytime. It's so hard because we've been talking about getting Zahir back on again, and the time difference is so hard for you guys, man. It's a struggle every time.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, I get up quite early these days anyway, so I'm fine. I can come on pretty early and be good.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll talk to my agent and Tracy and have her set it up.
All right, then.
Get it all taken care of.
Yeah.
But all right, it's good talking to you, man. It's been a long time.
Good talking to you. Yeah, as indeed. And we will finish. So thank you very much, everyone who came in the chat. We had quite a few people in. I think we were up to very close to 30 at one point.
Oh, nice.
And thanks for Tommy for joining me. And I will see you next week. So see you very soon, guys.
See you.
Bye.